Coming up on Sports Night, the men's basketball team takes on Iowa.
Women's hoops makes their case for the top 25.
And the men's tennis team hits the home courts for the first time this winter.
Andy, we've got so much to talk about. I don't think we should be wasting any time.
That's fine with me, but then you could have just said it. It's Sports Night right now. Jack, football season is over, and I'm excited to get into the friendly confines of Welsh Ryan Arena finally.
I really couldn't agree with you more, but you do have to wait just a little bit longer because we start with the men's team in Indiana. Northwestern men's basketball started the new year in last place in the Big Ten standings. After a loss to Minnesota, the Cats had 3 games to get off the mat. It starts at Assembly Hall for a matchup with the Hoosiers. We're at Assembly Hall, and I promise it looks even better in person. Ryan Young starts us off after a sweet feed from Pat Spencer. High-flying Hoosier the other way. Look out below, Trace Jackson Davis. Hoosiers up 10. Later on, it's bombs away for A.J. Turner, only a 3-point game. Northwestern finishes the first on a 15-2 run. Here's Jared Jones getting up high. Cats up 3 at the break. Here's your get out your seat moment. Pat Spencer with a rim rattler absolutely silences Assembly Hall. And the Cats kept it that way for a while. Tie ball game, Jared Jones with a block party. Miller Kopp breaks the tie with a triple. But the crowd got back into it late, and the Hoosiers mount a stellar comeback. Heartbreak in Bloomington for the Wildcats. Our Andrew Fenichel was there to recap the action.
There's a reason Assembly Hall is known as one of the toughest road environments in all of college sports. Coming into tonight's matchup versus the Indiana Hoosiers, Northwestern hadn't won at this stadium since 2013. But check this out. At one point in school history, Northwestern went 41 straight years between victories here at Assembly Hall. That's right, you heard me right. 41 straight years. Between 1968 and 2009, Northwestern couldn't get the job done once. Now, the 2010s were a little more favorable for Northwestern as they got 2 victories here on the road. But flash forward to tonight's matchup. It's the 2020s. It's a new decade. It's a new team for Northwestern. However, due to the inability to guard junior forward Justin Smith and freshman sensation Trace Jackson Davis, Northwestern would fall to the Indiana Hoosiers by a final score of 66-62.
After that tough loss to the Hoosiers, Northwestern is looking to bounce back against Nebraska. We're going to kick things off early in the first with the Cats down 3. Spencer steps back and drills the 3 to tie it at 9. Then, just a few minutes later, it's Spencer with the ball again. He kicks it to the corner and finds Barron, the freshman, who sinks the 3. Now, just before the half, Barron drives and lays it in. Look at how smooth that was from the youngster. Second half now, Nance finds Kopp, and it's Miller time as he drains the 3 to put the Cats up 49-29. Then it's the freshman again as Barron works his way to the basket and puts it in. Now with just a few seconds left, Nebraska puts up a last-second effort, but it would be no good as the Cats would win 62-59.
After the W on Sunday, Northwestern tries to make it 2 in a row at Welsh Ryan. They welcome in the 11-5 Hawkeyes. We start off with Ryan Young, the rare shot from distance. They let him shoot it. Cats up 3. But Luca Garza says, "I'll see your 3, big man, and I'll give you one of my own. You bet, bottom of the net, we're tied." Later in the first, you cannot leave Connor McCaffrey open because he'll make you pay. Iowa up 1. The other way, Pete Nance with a putback slam cuts into the lead and gets Welsh Ryan on their feet. But Iowa sits them right back down. Bakari Evelyn, a laser from the corner. Hawkeye shot nearly 50% from three. Now, you heard of garbage time? Well, the second half here was Garza time. The junior scored 15 points over a 4-minute stretch. The front runner for Big Ten Player of the Year racked up 27 on the day, and he was just too much for the Cats. This one ends 75-62.
Stick around because when we come back, we'll tell you the life story of a men's tennis practice squad member.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Welcome back to Sports Night. We've got to take a closer look at men's basketball. And to help us out, we've got our man Charlie Goldsmith from the Daily Northwestern. Charlie, we've got some clips here from sophomore big man Pete Nance, and you want to break them down. Go ahead, you have the floor.
A pressing issue for Northwestern as they've started off the Big Ten as one of the worst teams in the conference has been Pete Nance taking a step back after the end of non-conference play. Over the past 6 games, averaging 6 points a game, about 30% shooting. Let's see how decisive he's being. We can roll this clip. Northwestern runs a play for Nance early on in the game, and Nance is decisive. Pause it right there. Look how set he was on going right. He put his head down, and he went exactly the direction he was going. He eventually, we can keep going, finished through contact, and got Northwestern on the board early. Northwestern won that game, but Pete Nance wasn't as decisive against Iowa. We can start here and see how when Pete Nance gets the ball wide open at the top of the key, we can pause it there. He could shoot. He could drive, he could do a floater, he has a lot of options. But instead, watch, as he gets to the decisive moment, his head is still down. He misses the shot, he's not even looking at the rim when that happens. It's so important for Pete to know where he's going, to keep his head up, and to have a plan when he has the ball. He does that here late in the game. The game was out of reach. Nance had 5 points before this moment. He ended up finishing with 11, but he did put a nice stamp on the game at the end, including this basket right here. In a very similar design, wait for it, right there Nance gets the ball open at the top of the key. Look, he goes right, and he knows he's going right. He keeps his head down, looks up at the basket when it's time to shoot, and finishes. He was one of Northwestern's highest recruits in the history of the program. For Northwestern to win a couple more Big Ten games this season, it'll be critical for him to get back to double digits and not around 6 points a game where he's been over the past couple weeks, right?
Right. I would think Pete, of all people, with his talent, can get up to more than 6-7 points a game.
And that's the thing. In high school, he was constantly assertive, decisive, and he's still figuring out the way he can best apply his skill set in the Big Ten. Iowa's Luka Garza was a great example on the other night. He scored 27. Nance still not quite there.
Yeah, and Luka Garza, not only could he be the Big Ten Conference Player of the Year, he might just be the most improved player of the year, just his growth from his sophomore to his junior year.
And just look at the weapons he presents. He knocked down 2 threes early on. And after that, when Northwestern guarded him one-on-one on the post, he was finishing with his left and his right hand. Nance really contains some of the same ability to, one, shoot from the perimeter, and two, have touch with either hand to make defenses pay when they're not giving him as much attention. On the offseason, the coaches were touting Nance's ability to be a mismatch nightmare. It's less so when Nance is scoring 6 points a game, but I still do think that Nance long-term has the potential, and that's what the rest of the season can be for Northwestern, seeing which of their starters can take the biggest jumps, continuing with, 12 Big Ten games left? That's plenty of time.
And that's optimism. No one does it better than you, Charlie. Thanks for joining us, Charlie. You can check out more of Charlie's work on dailynorthwestern.com. Andy, it's back to you on the desk.
After the Northwestern women's basketball team's first loss in Big Ten play to Iowa, the Cats look to bounce back against a talented Gopher squad on the road. We're going to get right into the action with this one as we pick it up in the fourth, right down as Abby Scheid knocks down the three to put the Cats up 10. Later in the fourth, the inbound pass gets away from the Cats, and the Gophers' Skyla gets the steal but misses the layup. But Tye Bello is right there, and the Gophers cut the lead to 4. Under 2 minutes to go, and Lindsey Pulliam somehow finds the way to shoot over 2 defenders to put the Cats up 4. 19 ticks remaining. Sydney Wood tips the ball away, but Jasmine Brunson picks it up in the backcourt and takes it herself. She goes down and pulls up for 3 and swoosh, ties the game at 54. Now 4 seconds left and the Cats inbound the ball. Abby Wolf passes it to Veronica Burton, who cuts to the basket and dishes to pull up Pulliam. The Cats up 2 with 0.6 seconds left, and the Wildcats would prefer taking down the Golden Gophers on the road 56-64.
After Thursday's nail-biter, NU needs another win to keep a share of first place in the conference. But visiting Purdue gets the party started. Janelle Grant knocking down the triple. Boilers up 6. Now Veronica Burton leads the league in steals, but Jordan Hamilton shows us how it's done. Patience is a virtue, though, because Abby Scheid doesn't miss many of those. Cats grab the lead, 11-10. Same side now, Sydney Wood nearly got it stolen, but Hamilton picks up the loose change and splashes home the floater. Next position, guess who? Jordan Hamilton with the pickpocket. He turns it into a deuce. But Purdue does not give up. Lindsay Wilby, a triple from the corner. And Lindsey Pulliam the other way says, "Give me the rock." Her shot doesn't fall, but Abby Wolf is too hot to handle. A season-high 24 for the Wolf. And after a Pulliam layup, this one is over. Cats win it 61-56. And an update on women's basketball in Bloomington facing Indiana. Indiana's up 55-45 with 7:30 to go in the fourth quarter. Northwestern shooting an abysmal 2 of 11 from 3.
The indoor men's tennis season just kicked off Wednesday night in Evanston, and the Wildcats did some spring cleaning at the Com Tennis Center when Illinois State came to town. Northwestern stepped away the Redbirds with a 6-1 win as a squad. The duos of Steve Foreman, Trice Pickens, Chris Efron, and Dominic Starry earned the team's doubles point with victories to begin the night. From there, it was all Wildcats. The top 5 singles players for Northwestern defeated their opponents in 2 sets each. After a resounding victory to kick off the new season, the Wildcats host North Carolina State right back at the Com Tennis Center Friday night.
Even for some of the best young college athletes, things don't always go as planned. Now, as a regular student, a high school tennis star is fighting for a chance to play in Evanston. Our Ben Boken has more.
No matter what obstacle life throws at John Drake, it's impossible for him to quit a sport that's meant so much to him.
I do it for the love of the game. I love tennis. I've committed to it since I was, 9 years old.
In no way has Drake's tennis career been linear. After choosing to play at the University of Chicago after high school, he ran into an unexpected barrier.
A week before I was supposed to get my acceptance letter, I just got ghosted by the coach. He stopped responding to my emails, to my phone calls. I get my official package from Chicago, and I got deferred. I reached out to all those other coaches that I had offers from. They said, "Sorry, John, we gave our spot to other players because you told us you were going to Chicago."
The Canada native spent time at a local college for 1 year without competitive tennis and transferred to Northwestern after another unlucky search for a school to play at.
Kind of spur of the moment, applied to Northwestern last second, and somehow got accepted.
After contacting Northwestern's tennis coach, Drake has earned a spot on the team as a practice player.
The coach said, "You know what, we're going to give you an opportunity to practice with the team, but you're not going to be able to play this year."
His goal is to become a full-time varsity athlete.
I still want to play tennis, I still want to get one more shot, and that's what kind of motivated me every day to try to transfer. And then when I got here, of course, that's what kept continuing me, that burning desire to keep playing tennis.
He's had a lot of trials and tribulations, but he's a very optimistic guy, even though he's gone through a lot, and I think that really speaks a lot about his character and about his passion for tennis.
The sophomore, wise beyond his years, stays positive throughout his struggles.
For me, just becoming a better tennis player, whether that's not playing matches at all, or maybe I can just play tournaments in the summer. I'm going to continue playing tennis for the rest of my life.
Reporting for NNN Sports, I'm Ben Boken.
Northwestern graduate quarterback TJ Green has been granted a 6th year of eligibility by the NCAA and will be eligible to compete for the Wildcats during the upcoming 2020 season. Thank you to my coaches, teammates, friends, and family for supporting me throughout my recovery and rehab process, said Green. I'm excited to get back to work. Green began his college career as a walk-on and scored his first career rushing touchdown in the prime-time 2018 opener at Purdue. He earned a spot atop the Cats depth chart heading into the 2019 season opener at Stanford, completing 6 of 10 passes for 62 yards before suffering a season-ending injury. We'll have to see if Coach Fitzgerald ends up handing Green the reins for the 2020 fall season.
Last Thursday, the NU men's and women's swimming and dive teams hosted 12th-ranked Louisville at the Norris Aquatic Center. The men's team came into the contest 4-2 on the young season, and the women were 8-1, fresh off 8 wins in a row. On the men's side, first-year Federico Burdisso continued his strong season, taking the first place in 100-meter fly. NU earned 2 more individual wins, but it wasn't enough as the Cats would drop their 3rd contest in a row, the score 170.5 to 120.5. On the women's side, a quartet of Wildcats took home first place in the 200 medley relay. Hannah Brunzell, the reigning Big Ten Freshman of the Week, also captured both the 100 and 200-meter breaststroke. Unfortunately, the Cats' 8-meet win streak came to an end in a narrow contest, 151 to 149. And on Wednesday, the Big Ten announced Burdisso and Brunzell as the Big Ten Freshman of the Week.
When we come back, we go from the pool to the mat with wrestling.
And a former Wildcat is going pro. That's next.
When we come back, we go from the pool to the wrestling mat.
And a former Wildcat is going pro. That's next.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
So Anthony Gaines is pretty hype in this photo right here, but his Northwestern basketball team hasn't been nearly as hyped this season, as they're currently dead last in the Big Ten standings. So as a stats guy, I know that numbers never lie, so I crunched the data and it brought me here to my stat of the week, negative .132, which is Northwestern's luck rating according to KenPom. Now, I know what you're thinking. Luck? How is that even a stat? And hey, I'm with you. I mean, just last week I had 2 professors give me pop quizzes, I sprained my ankle, and my girlfriend dumped me. That makes me pretty unlucky, right? Like, come on, KenPom, what's my luck rating at? Well, unfortunately, it's not quite how luck works. KenPom defines luck as the measure of the deviation between a team's actual winning percentage and what one would expect based on efficiency. Essentially, if you play a lot of close games, you shouldn't win or lose all of them. It's just logic. So back to Northwestern. Northwestern's atrocious luck rating checks in at 347th in the country out of 353 teams. So this team's just unlucky, right? They're guaranteed to, regress to the mean, turn their season around, Big Ten champs. Well, I hate to break it to you, but just like my girlfriend, no, they're not coming back. And the reason? There's not a statistically significant causal relationship between luck and winning in college basketball due to the numerous confounding variables involved. And for Northwestern, the big one's their youth. Logically, inexperience leads to mental mistakes during close games, like in the clips you're watching behind me, and Northwestern is one of the youngest teams in the country. That's why Northwestern performs terribly in the clutch and why their luck rating is so low. So to wrap this up, consider yourself lucky. You won't get fooled by this stat ever again. Jack and Andy, back to you guys.
The Northwestern wrestling team took to the mats last weekend after a long holiday break and opened up Big Ten play against Purdue and Penn State. The Wildcats kicked off the big weekend against 18th ranked Purdue. Ryan Deacon and redshirt first-year Lucas Davison each notched massive victories Friday night at Welsh Ryan Arena against the Boilermakers. Deacon, competing in his first match since becoming the top-ranked wrestler in the nation, took on a fellow top 10 grappler in number 8 Kendall Coleman. After a tense first period in which he went up 2-0, Deacon rattled off 7 in the second and 5 more in the third, all without giving up a single point. The redshirt junior came away with an impressive 14-0 major decision, dismantling the Boilermakers as he improved to 9-0 on the campaign. Dating back to the Cliff Keen Invitational December, Deacon has now won 3 consecutive bouts against top 10 opponents and has not trailed at any point in those contests. At 174, unranked Tyler Moreland gave a valiant effort, going toe-to-toe with number 4 Dylan Lindy of Purdue. The grapplers exchanged escapes to take a 1-1 bout into the final period. Lindy was awarded a point for stalling, and that was how the bout ended. Lindy, the reigning Midlands champion, improved to 21-0 in the season as the Cats would drop the duel 21-13 and now sit 2-2 on the season. The Wildcats look to bounce back from that disappointing loss as they hosted third-ranked Penn State. Ryan Deacon was at it again as he improved to a perfect 10-0 on the season. Lucas Davison notched his second straight dramatic victory of the weekend, and number 7 Michael DeGusto bounced back with a dominant victory on Sunday afternoon. Riding high after an upset over second-rate Christian Brunner of Purdue on Friday, redshirt first-year Davison continued his stellar wrestling with a 7-5 victory over All-American Shakir Rashid. Tied at 5 nearing the end of the third period, Davison notched a takedown with 25 seconds remaining and rode out Rashid to secure the victory. The Chesterton, Indiana native improves to 8-4 on the year and a perfect 2-0 in conference duels. To close out the duel, DeGusto recorded a takedown versus Brandon Meredith just 20 seconds into the match and never looked back, going wire-to-wire for an impressive 7-3 victory to improve to a 12-4 on the season. However, Northwestern would lose again, falling 30-9.
Former Northwestern star Vic Law signed a two-way contract with the Orlando Magic on Saturday. Now that means Law will be flexed between the NBA and the G League. The 2019 graduate has impressed as a member of the Lakeland Magic in the G League, averaging 18.7 points and 8.5 rebounds per game for this season. He showed out in his last 8 games, tallying 27 points per game and shooting 42% from deep, including this highlight reel buzzer beater against the Wisconsin Herd.
If setting records was a New Year's resolution for the Northwestern women's cross-country team, they're off to a good start. In the Gene Evans Memorial last weekend at Purdue, Kayla Byrne finished second place in the 3,000 meter, which was the first time she finished in the top 5 as a Wildcat. Northwestern travels to beautiful San Diego this weekend for its next cross-country competition.
The women's fencing team traveled to Colorado Springs for the Western Invitational. The Cats swept the field, including wins over Stanford and UC San Diego. They move to 11-5. Looking at individual performances, sophomore Isabella Min went an outstanding 11-0 on her day, and her fellow sophomore Sarah Philby also went undefeated with 8 victories. Upperclassmen Amy Gia and Maddie Cruzone both went 5-1, and freshmen Robin Song and Natalie Kim had successful days with 10-3 and 9-5 records, respectively. The team travels to Philadelphia this weekend to compete in the Penn Duels.
Northwestern head lacrosse coach Kelly Amante Hiller holds 7 national titles with the Wildcats, but the former college star added another accolade to her resume. Amante Hiller was recently named the 2019 Tewaaraton Legends Award recipient. The honor recognizes the best college lacrosse player each year, but did not exist when Amante Hiller played at Maryland in the 90s. The Legends Award is given to a former player who would have received it. Northwestern's coach was a 2-time National Player of the Year and the ACC Female Athlete of the Year in 1996. She won 2 national championships and broke Maryland's record for all-time goals and assists as a player. We're in the home stretch, only plays of the week to go.
And come back with us next.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Go Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Welcome back to Sports Night. It's time for the metaphorical dessert of your Sports Night dinner. The end credits.
Wait, Jack, you forgot something. It's Plays of the Week.
Oh yeah, roll the tape.
At number 3, Abby Wolf had a career-high scoring night Sunday with 24 points against Purdue. She also grabbed 11 rebounds and blocked 5 shots as the Cats won 61-59. 62-56.
At number 2, after a missed Miller Cop 3, Pete Nance getting up high. So nice, we're going to show it to you twice. Look at that ferocity.
And your number 1 play of the week, game winner against Minnesota, Wood to Wolf to Burton to pull up Pulliam. Cats hang on against the Golden Gophers. It's been a great week for Northwestern sports, but that's all the time we have here on Sports Night. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at NNN Sports and on Instagram at NNN_sports.
Also, be sure to check out our new and improved website at www.nntv.org. For Andy Paden, I'm Jack Lido. I'll see you Thursday right back here on Sports Night.